Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Sam, and I'm 15 from New York. I'm half white, half black. Have a summer job, work on a campground, and here with my buddy Nick that I will be doing this podcast with. Say what's up, Nick.
What's up? I'm Nick. I'm 15. I'm also from New York. Sam and I are in the same grade. We're both sophomores at Union Springs High School. And I also have a summer job. I work at my local village's DPW. And we're just really filming this podcast to spread our ideas and have some fun.
And entertain some people. So make sure you share with your friends, and we just wanted to give some background information to help you view why we have our opinions and help you understand and help create your own opinions based off what we're saying. Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to the new Minecraft podcast. Today we got Gavin, say what's up.
What's up?
And then we got Nick.
What's up?
Alright, this is our first time doing this, so it's gonna be a little janky. We're on FaceTime right now because Nick has Xbox and he likes boys. Alright, so first.
Yeah, it was. It's alright, though. I'm used to it now.
I mean,
That's how I am with fat jokes.
Mr. 220.
What would you know about adversity, Sam? It's not like you're black.
Yeah, I wouldn't know a thing about it.
Are you serious?
Why is this game such a great game? Like, because we could just play. It's so easy to play and just relax on here and just get everybody on it, and you don't have to worry about overcrowding. Like Fortnite, you can't have more than 4 people playing at the same time.
What
you'd have.
I realized is that you can bond more over Minecraft because you work as a team. It's not you're against someone else. Like if you play Fortnite, your goal is to win. In Minecraft, your goal is literally to have fun.
Have fun. Literally, that's the main goal. Like, you have fun.
Like,
you build a community. You do whatever you want. You can do. There's endless opportunities with this game.
I don't know. It's just after getting off playing 2 hours of Fortnite, and
It feels like
playing 2
feels
hours
like
of
work.
Minecraft.
Feels like work
Yeah.
after playing for it.
Minecraft, you can be on it for 8 hours and not even know.
Yeah, you wouldn't even notice, and you look at the time, and you're like, oh man.
I think Minecraft also builds life skills, like the ability to communicate with your peers and work as a team. Like now, if you look
and
in a lot of
team
large
bonding.
companies, yeah, like large companies, you need to be able to work with others in life. And I think Minecraft, not just Minecraft, but games like Minecraft, where it's more of a wholesome community instead of like you're pinned
It's
up
nothing
against
toxic.
someone else. Yeah.
It's nothing
Like,
where you have to go beat somebody else. There's nothing like that.
yeah.
You can make it like that, but it's still going to be an enjoyable, relaxed game. There's no intense competition.
Also, what I think, Minecraft can be any game you want it to be. And what I mean by that is, like, you can, if you want to build some type of world, you can build it. It's always up to you. You have freedom, complete freedom.
Yeah, you could go into creative mode. You could build you could build literally anything, especially on
like
PC.
Greek world.
Yeah, like our Greek world. We have a whole Greek civilization on there. It's still in the works because like it's generally new because the other one got deleted.
Yeah. Gavin, what do you have to say about it?
The limit is literally just your imagination. It's just how far your imagination takes you.
And I know this sounds stupid, but like, I think you figure out a lot about yourself from playing Minecraft. It just gives you time to think and decompress. Just literally, it's almost like your brain, it's like a massage for your brain, I feel.
Yeah, and then you could also see, like, depending on what you build, could see how much you have in your mind, and it could help you with your creativeness, because, like, a lot of people get on the game and go on creative mode and don't know what to build, and build something small or build something that's not that great compared to other things that you could build on the game. And then
Yeah.
eventually, after a couple months, maybe even a couple weeks or days, they get used to it and they learn it, and then they start getting new ideas after they learn how to do different things, and that could help with business ideas or anything like that.
Well, if you look at it, I got Minecraft about a week ago, and I haven't been able to play for a little bit because my overall health, I've been a little sick. And I'm pretty good with the controls. I'm not some pro on the sticks, but I know the basic controls, and I can play and have fun by myself.
It's an easy game to learn.
Yeah. And also in life, if you look at it, people have to be able to get a small job when they first come out of college or high school. Say you get a smaller job and you buy a small apartment, and then maybe a year later, after saving up, you buy a house. And you get a raise. It's almost in life, it teaches you how you gotta start small. And you don't have to start with something huge.
Yeah,
Just
and
like in Minecraft, you wouldn't build a mansion in the middle of
you
nowhere.
aren't gonna start it right off the bat. You aren't gonna build something like that. You're gonna build a little 1x1 dirt house to start off. Like, you aren't gonna,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna gradually learn how to finesse it and how to.
That's just like in life too. You're not gonna come out of college or high school and be CEO of the company. You're probably gonna be an intern, if you want the truth.
Yeah.
And then you'll get up through the ranks. But it kind of teaches you patience and not hard work, but it teaches you how you gotta be patient and start small, and you don't have to have something huge.
Yeah.
Wish I could say that about my wiener size, but she's still small.
Gavin can say it about his stomach size.
Oh,
I'm just kidding, Gavin. Gavin, you haven't talked in a while. Have anything to say? You can't just sit there and let me and Nick run the show, bud.
Just say why you like Minecraft. Like, take into example.
What about it?
Me playing Fortnite, I'm gonna play with a certain group of people. Minecraft, you can play with anyone. Last week, or earlier this week, Gavin did get caught simping. But he was able to play Minecraft with a girl off of her phone. It shows how universal it is.
You could play with anybody.
Anyone and everyone can play. And it's just, it's not like Madden. Like Madden, you have to like football.
You have to have specific likes. This is a game where you don't have to like. It's not a sports game. It's not a racing game. It's not a open world story game like Assassin's Creed or something like that. It's not a Red Dead Redemption type of game.
It's basically the game. You could almost call the game your game, because there's so many versions you can make out of this game.
And there's so many different things out there that can affect the game and mod it, and different other people besides Mojang and creators of the game have created so much for the game that like Hypixel, like back when people did like the Hunger Games. I know Gavin knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. It's
how people make their own mods.
Yeah, and like it could get a whole community. It could just get people together where they wouldn't be together before.
It's honestly a culture almost.
It almost
because
is.
You look, fucking Jew.
Like you could see the different people that play it. Like we play it, but Greg, Ben, and Steven also play it, and we're completely different. We have completely different likes and beliefs, or whatever you want to say. Interests.
Yeah, that's two completely different people. Greg, I'm not picking on Greg by any means, but he's more of a, I'm not. He's a gamer.
He's a straight up gamer.
If you look at me, I'm someone that's, and Sam, we're big into sports, and
we
both share the love for the same game. I think that's what's awesome.
Yeah, they're like, nothing wrong with Star Wars. I love Star Wars too. Like they're great movies, but like, I'm sure you could ask Greg any question about it and he'll know it. And somebody like Steven is super smart, super intelligent,
That's
and
almost the same thing with, like, you could ask, what's his name, about, you could ask, like, Greg and Steven about Star Wars, and they could name off everything. I couldn't name a single thing. And you could ask them about Rocky, and I could name everything, and they couldn't. But everyone can say something about Minecraft. It's almost like everyone has played Minecraft during their life. And it's such a long-lasting game, like, it really hasn't changed. And, the saying, don't fix it if it ain't broke, that's
literally
that
nothing is
applied.
nothing has changed, but things have been added. Nothing has ever been
Yeah.
changed. In general.
But it hasn't needed anything, like Madden or Fortnite. Take Fortnite, for example. You always have to get a new season or you're going to lose players. Minecraft, literally, they don't need to change anything.
There's nothing needed to be changed about the game because it's so great and so worldwide. People in every single country play it. I'm sure if you go to some slum town in India, I'm sure
Like,
some little kids will love this. They love this game for sure.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Gavin?
Like Gag, he's from Russia, played with each other.
Yeah, it's because you got, like, little Russian spy friends.
Yeah, you have like hackers on your game, Gavin.
You own stock in the web. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, Gavin, like, he's like, you boot this kid offline, else I'm not feeding you for the rest of the week.
Or I'm telling him to burn you.
Yeah, Gavin knows like the government bomb codes.
Oh yeah, just wait. Stuff.
Oh yeah, Nick, I forgot I still have your armor over here.
I'm in a NASCAR game, brother.
Oh yeah.
I do be racing, though. I do be racing. I just want to drive in the stands and mow everyone down.
Can you do that?
What?
Can you do that?
You can, but you're gonna. I can do it in real life, but it'll give me like 20 to 30 in the slammer. It's worth it.
Speaking of things that completely take over, what about coronavirus lately? I feel like people haven't been taking it as serious as they should be.
No, it wasn't man-made, but it was not stopped. It almost reminds me of the Irish potato famine back when Ireland was...
Like when the English...
Ireland was a colony or territory of England, and England knew about that potato famine.
Yeah, the famine
and they
was
did not
coming.
help them. Their leader is quoted saying, "It's a natural check on human population," and I think that's the same case over in China with the Wuhan coronavirus, because
China is straight up lying right now. They say they have 0 cases right now, and there's no more people dying. That's not something that... It's either they're hiding something from the rest of the world that could save the rest of the world, or they're hiding something that the fact that it's gonna be way worse than everybody else thinks.
Did you see they reopened all markets selling like cats, dogs, bats, rats?
Yeah, they sell like live cats and stuff, which is ridiculous.
They just reopened the markets today. Like, why would you even reopen? Wouldn't you think something's wrong? And I know a lot of people think that the coronavirus came from someone eating the bat. If you want the truth, that's not true. It came from a young Chinese male having sexual intercourse basically with a bat. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. That should not be something that people have normal access to on the daily.
Yeah. And also what's scary about this corona is the mutation that's have occurred.
Yeah, like it's airborne.
At at first it was animal to human, now it's human to human, and now they're developing another strand of it. There's 2 strands, one's more dangerous than the other, and if this mutates one more time, who knows if we can stop this.
Oh yeah, there's no telling what could happen. Like, realistically, everything should shut down, because the president is handling this whole outbreak horribly. It could be handled so much better if things were shut down and things were like the spring breakers, all the college students, their cell phone data from Apple that shows hotspots in the US are directly linked from where spring breakers went.
Yeah. What is very frustrating for me is the fact that the reason we are not uniting as a whole country and working together is because of egos and political parties. Are you kidding me? There is hundreds of thousands of cases breaking out and many people dying.
And they can't agree just based on nothing.
And we don't want to provide New York State, when the governor asked for 30,000 ventilators, we didn't want to provide him with ventilators because he wasn't nice to us. That's extremely maddening for me.
That's such a ego cocky type of way of thinking, where he was, just because he was not nice, or not even, that's such a childish way of saying it. He wasn't nice to you. Like, what does that even mean? Just because he was.
I have Trump's quote right here. Hold up. It says, "We will treat the governors how they treat us."
So it's basically saying.
This is right after remarks after Governor Cuomo asked for 30,000 ventilators, and Trump gave him 440, and Cuomo basically said, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with 440 ventilators?"
Yeah, there's hospitals in New York City that are overrun with sick patients just sitting in waiting areas, waiting for new ventilators to open up, which are killing more and more people, more and more of the American citizens that he's supposed to protect, and he's not helping them because he's selfish, because one person he dislikes.
Exactly. And also what I've noticed is, if you look, people are getting frustrated with the nursing and hospital staff. It's not their fault. I saw this Instagram post the other day. It's a nurse in New York City. She's been wearing the same mask
for a week.
For a week and a half, and she has blood marks from where the mask was on her face, and they haven't supplied them with anything.
Because he's trying to save the economy, and they're shutting down factories and they're shutting down things that could be open right now with restrictions. If they just weren't lazy about it, they weren't perfect. There's no way you could prepare for something like this, because you're not just expecting an outbreak of a wild disease that starts rampaging on the country and starts killing hundreds of people and thousands of people. But right now we're the hot spot right now, and we need, if China is telling the truth, which I hope they are, but they probably aren't. I don't believe that they are telling the truth about having no more cases. But if they are, we need to learn something from them, and they were completely shutting down cities, completely shutting down everything. And everybody knows how bad China's air pollution is. After shutting down cities, they had no public transportations or anything. After shutting down all those cities, they look up in the sky. It's beautiful. It's nice and clear skies just from not having 100,000 cars going non-stop for constantly.
What is also maddening, well, back to your point, you said there's no way to prepare for this. I 100% agree with you. There's no way to prepare for this, but we have to be ready for it next time. Always just in case, because like.
Just like what happened with
factories.
Hurricane Katrina, and New York was not ready for that, and it
Yeah,
completely devastated everything.
If we see something breaking out in Europe or the Middle East, again, we should be going full blown like get ready mode. Not quarantine right away, but as soon as it hit the U.S., we should have been in quarantine.
Yeah, and what makes this tricky is it's relative. It's what am I trying to say? It's forming new things on itself. What is that called? It's
Mutations.
adapting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's mutating.
Yeah, it's been mutating constantly, which is
Gavin, I want to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, Gavin, you're kind of bothering me because you're not talking right now.
I don't really know a lot about it because I don't like watch the news, but I know that Trump is not doing the best he can.
Why is that? Why is he not doing the best he can?
He could have prepared way better than he did.
I mean,
what Nick was saying about how as soon as it like struck the United States, we were worried about other things. We didn't realize how bad it was until we started getting a shit ton of cases.
And also, sorry to interrupt, but what I think, Gavin, is, to go on to your point, I think Trump's downplaying it, because he's a businessman. We all know that, he's a businessman.
he's not trying to affect business right now. He's not trying to...
He doesn't want to hurt the economy, so he's playing this down. And he needs to quit playing this down and trying to stay positive, and he needs to be realistic and tell people, alright,
This is what's going on. Yeah, this is what's going on.
You gotta be straightforward. And that's, I do not like Governor Cuomo. I would not vote to re-elect him. I just don't agree with some of the things
I think he's doing a
but
good job with
I
this
think
right
he's
now.
doing a great job right now with this coronavirus, and I understand why he's extremely frustrated with President Trump right now. Because he's reaching out. New York City is the worst spot in the country right now, easily. And he's trying to get help and supplies, and Trump will not supply them, telling him he doesn't need them. What do you mean he doesn't need them? They're literally, in New York right now, they're turning in, like, parking garages into hospitals.
Yeah,
It's
like
very frustrating, and it's very scary in the fact that it's not just something you see happening in China.
it's not something in the news. It's really something.
Our county now.
Oh, I built out the wrong block right there.
I do think we've had warning signs for the past decade, though, about this. I'm not saying that we could have predicted this at this scale, but
Seeing
I'm
how just massive everything is at this, like how big cities are and how populated everything's becoming.
yeah.
This is something that they should have really thought about and thought of an actual possibility of happening, of an outbreak happening and wiping out thousands of people. Another thing that's not helping is people not taking it seriously. Like,
Yeah,
don't post on your
like,
story and tell other people not to worry about it if you don't know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut your mouth and don't tell other people false information and get them sick.
I'm not saying this stuff like I'm a scientist. I'm just a concerned American citizen that does not want to see this hurt any more families and citizens of America. The world needs to come together through this, and we need to unite and get rid of this together, because we cannot do it.
If people are just walking around, if compact cities like New York City or Los Angeles, that aren't shut down yet, and there's how many million of people in LA? Probably somewhere around like 20, 30, 40 million people in LA. And they're just walking. There's nothing. There's no regulated quarantine. I saw something about North Washington or South Washington, going into quarantine where it was going to be a $4,000 to $5,000 fine. I don't know if that went through or not, but I think that was a good idea because it's not, the fine isn't to get money out of you. The fine is to make sure that it's high enough where you're like,
Yeah.
I don't want a $4,000, $5,000 fine.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
What's scary about this is our generation's future right now.
Yeah, right now
We
it's
And right now, I think it's way too political right now.
there's no
And
reason for that. There's no reason for that.
yeah, this isn't about getting like the last laugh. This is about saving lives. And I'm very disappointed in Donald Trump right now. I'm not saying that he's the best president, but I thought he was doing a good job. But right now, this is disappointing me very much.
There goes the fire alarm. Probably Ben's dad scurrying over. Jason. Stefan.
They're up in Vermont.
They're in the hills.
So, do you believe that New York State schools, which are suspended until
April 30th now.
they are? I
Yeah.
was not sure, but so
Yeah.
New York schools
Yeah.
are suspended April 30th. Do you think that they should just end them for the rest of the year now? Or,
Not now. I don't think they
Yeah.
gotta wait. They gotta wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Cause then teachers and students are both gonna get overwhelmed because there's gonna be a ton of work that's gonna have to be sent home, and then the teachers are also gonna have to grade a bunch of work. So not only is laying off work good for the students' mental and sometimes physical health, it's good for the teachers' mental health. They won't be losing sleep over this, and they already have a stressful job sometimes as it is.
I hate to say this, but your living room isn't a good learning environment.
You can't learn. You're just
Yeah.
doing work. Basically, all they're doing is feeding us stuff so our brains don't turn to mush.
Literally.
They're giving us something to do so we finish something and there's an accomplishment, and that's basically what high school is. You do it so you don't go out and get in trouble. You really aren't learning many life skills. The most life skills you're doing is learning from your peers and learning from people around you. You really aren't learning how to do geometry and how to
Yes.
do whatever it's called, proof. Exactly. I don't even know what the name of it is called.
And what is also maddening is people believing this time off from school is a vacation. This is not a vacation.
This is for everybody's health, and people who are going out still. I don't understand what's wrong with your parents where they're just letting you walk around and go out and do all these things. It's different if you're visiting family. But if you're just going out and hanging out with your friends, that's different.
So what day was it? I think Wednesday. I went to urgent care. I had to go to urgent care.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and the nurses had no mask on. And I look in the room next to me, and someone had a huge bubble suit on. They looked like an astronaut. So they obviously must have been getting tested for corona. necessary for the flu or something. And it's just ridiculous. Like, that person, that they should be instantly quarantined. Like, that door should not have even been open. I shouldn't have been able to see it. Nurse should have had mask on.
Mask and gloves, and everything should be sanitized. Everything should be getting cleaned. Like, around your houses, just make sure everything's cleaned. Just don't let any possibility of something like that happening. Of it getting into your house, and
They did have gloves on the whole time, and they did keep their distance. But the fact is, it's still scary amid everything, knowing that anything that they've been around is now been around you.
yeah, and you don't know who you've walked past. That's why it's important to stay home, because you don't know who you're walking past that could have it, and they just don't know. They could just not know that they have it.
Well, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just going over my buddies. It's not bad because he's been home alone this whole time. They don't talk about how their parents have been going to work, seeing 100 people, and those 100 people, each individually, have seen 100 people. It's just, it's incredibly scary if you really look into it. And this, if we took the flu virus half this seriously, I don't believe that the flu would even be that big.
The flu and corona they have similar symptoms, but
they're not the same.
So my sister is a biology major, so she knows all about viruses and everything to do with that, and she was basically telling me that her teacher told her that she doesn't believe symptoms don't matter. Nothing with symptoms matter when it comes to what happens with the disease, because you could have a slight cough, or you could have a slight headache or something like that, or it could be extreme. You could have a really bad headache, a really bad cough, you could be throwing up. But those are only possibilities, and it's only about the effectiveness of the virus and the different shapes that the virus can take, which can affect if there's medicines, a cure for it, how easily doctors can affect it and how much it can change so doctors can't affect it, and how it's just adapting. It's almost like the game, what's that game? Gavin, do you know? Plague Inc., yeah. It's almost like Plague Inc. How you could spend the DNA points to upgrade it so it's airborne, and that's almost what it feels like right now. It's like upgrading itself to be more lethal, and it's getting airborne, and it's getting more dangerous, and it's less symptoms is honestly better, and that's why it's scary. It's so similar to so many other diseases. The same symptoms, you could have the flu, you could have the common cold, you could have strep throat, you could have there's one other thing that I saw that she was showing me, but there's so many different things that you could have. They're so similar to this, and it could be easily misunderstood.
And what the scary thing is, we live in such an industrialized and like time. If you can't fend for yourself on anymore. You have to go to a grocery store to get goods.
There's absolutely no way you could fend for yourself.
Like
Once,
now,
go ahead.
my dad, my father, and Gavin's father, Harold, just bought a cow, and I think that's a great move. We have a wood stove at home. I mean, you have to plan for this like it's doomsday, if you really think about it.
Because you really don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, all those people on Doomsday Preppers are sitting back and laughing at us right now. Because they're like, I'm chilling. I'm 400 feet underground with 6 years worth of food, and I'm just watching TV.
I don't think that we necessarily should freak out.
There's no reason to panic, because that just makes it worse. Like, the people who are... Like, there's a sad picture of an old man holding a grocery list, probably trying to get food for him and his wife. And there's a... Not to be mean, but to be mean, because this lady's probably a horrible person. This fat lady just standing there in the aisle with piles of toilet paper and paper towels and food and medicines. that this old man can't use, and
that
he's
is
more
the
prone to
problem.
it.
That is a problem. People are stocking up. Why are you stocking up on toilet paper? Literally,
There's
that makes it so you need to stock up. Since people are stocking up.
Yeah, that
What
just
is
makes
all
more
this
of a demand for it.
I mean, right now, it's ridiculous. I think it's very frustrating. Like, I think what needs to happen is, we're gonna, once Trump gets out of this little fairy tale that we're gonna be okay, he's gonna have to tell us the real side of the story. And people are gonna have to start treating this how severely it is. And what I think will occur is the nation, whether they're gonna like it or not, we're gonna figure out we have to unite Democrats and Republicans, liberals, conservatives. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter race, color, sexuality, whatever. We have to come together as American citizens and protect our people.
Yeah, of course. And
I mean, you could go on for days about this coronavirus.
Gavin, do you want to
It's
build a
very
platform
scary.
for the Nether portal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go on for days and days talking about it. Like, it's just scary to think about. Like, what if something like the apocalypse does happen? Like, what can you do? Because a friend of ours and a couple other people have been telling us that they've gone to Bass Pro and they've seen it looks like it was a Black Friday sale. Like, people were buying all the guns. Like, people were preparing, and it's not and it's that's the part that makes it scary, because there are those people out there. Obviously, if you think about it, nothing like that could ever happen. Apocalypse would be absolutely ridiculous. There's no way. There's so many backups and regulations set in place and laws and restrictions that would never allow for apocalypse to happen. But it's scary thinking that there could be a time,
Well, there could
even
be a
even
time.
even a week where people just go crazy and start killing other people for food. Like, as soon as the first issue occurs with food production, things are gonna start getting bad.
Yeah. Yes. And that's why, right now, my father has a padlock on our freezer. It's like a big, complete refrigerator.
Like the ones on the
It's just-
floors.
Yeah. Except this one's, you can stand it up or lay it down, and he has it
Harry's
standing
ready
up.
to shoot people. He's ready.
Yeah, I got a BB gun right here.
Oh yeah.
But actually, like,
Yeah, it's
I will
actually
say-
serious.
actually, if someone does come to my house and approach my land, I would not want to have to do it, but if my family's in danger, I will put a hole through them.
Yeah, you always have to be ready. Like,
Because
in general,
it's a matter of survival now. It's not. There's gonna be no laws if everyone's dead.
that's why it's super important for something for self-defense. You gotta know how to defend yourself. You always have to, like, whether you own a weapon or just a physical defense, you gotta know something. You gotta have something to rely on in case something does happen or somebody tries to enter your house. That's why I personally, like, there's no reason to have a AR-15 as a protection weapon in your house unless you live in, like, Bangladesh. Unless you live in, like, Saudi Arabia or something. There's no reason to have a AR-15 as a protection weapon for your house. I think it would be important for some people to have something like a pistol.
Exactly.
Just put away, locked away. It's safe, secure. You know what you're doing. But there's some people out there, like, I don't know.
And Sam, you know that I lean more to the conservative side in politics, and I believe that you do not need an AR-15. I don't
Nobody
think
nobody
that's-
needs an AR-15. If you
I
want to
don't-
shoot an AR-15, just go to a range and rent
Yeah.
one or something. You don't need to buy
I don't.
a full-blown, full automatic rifle. That's how things. Those things shouldn't be selling. And some people say, "Oh, well, we need our
It's
guns."
alright.
You don't need an AR-15. You could stop the sale of fully automatics and semi-automatics. You don't need a semi-automatic really either. What do you need that for? You don't need to go hunting with that.
Trust me. If someone comes in your house, you want a sawed-off shotgun. You do not want an AR-15. And if you're using an
Especially at
AR-15,
that close. You don't need anything.
if you're using an AR-15, that means you're using it for violence. That's the only reason to have an AR-15. Shotgun, you can use it for hunting, but also there's range on a shotgun. So the fact is, you are buying this gun to intentionally harm someone. Because an AR-15, you're going to be shooting from range at someone leaving, or not leaving, but
A
like
distant,
fleeing.
a good distance away.
At least with a shotgun.
You aren't gonna hear somebody break through the door, and you aren't gonna go over to your cabinet, unlock it, and pull out a whole AR-15 and go out there. That's not the most effective. I don't know if that's effective or not, but I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be effective as having something like a pistol.
Exactly.
It's so lightweight. It's small.
It's easily like handleable. You can handle it easy. And
it doesn't take a lot to kill someone. Like one bullet. Like,
Gavin, come out here.
AR-15.
Look what we got, Gavin. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just made him.
His name's gonna be Mr. 330.
Mr. 2220. Oh, he's going from. Yeah, he's already doing his job.
I built this platform.
All right, here you could do it. All right. It's almost like the coronavirus is alien. Getting into the next topic.
Yeah.
Aliens.
So let's be simply blunt with it. Do you believe in aliens and ghosts?
I personally believe it would be extremely selfish of the human race to believe that we're the only intelligent beings, and I think that's extremely selfish for people who don't believe in that they truly believe, out of all those trillions and billions of light years away, that we're the only people that know how to, we're the only things that know how to do what we do.
Well, to add on to what you just said, I think it's extremely ignorant. You think how small we are in this universe. You think there has to be other life forms out there. I mean,
there's no doubt that there isn't. There's no doubt that there definitely isn't. But the real question is, have they visited before? I don't believe they visited. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that.
I don't believe that either. But I'm not.
I think definitely the government knows something about it that we don't. But I don't know if they've visited.
And also, I feel like people have the wrong idea by what they mean by when people say aliens.
Exactly.
Like when someone says aliens, they think of scary green, like Andrew type figures, but like realistically, they're just other.
That was unnecessary.
They're just other organisms that are out there.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to. Sorry, I said exactly. I'm sorry to interrupt, but what I want to add on to Gavin's point is those are straight up conspiracy theories. The chances of that is so low. And if you watch like Avengers, like Endgame, they're not gonna look like Thanos' troops and kids.
They could. We don't know. We don't know.
They could, but most likely it's gonna be a small form of cells, a small bunch of cells, and then same thing will happen that happened with us, how they will mutate up and through.
And who's to say they're behind us? How do we not know that we're those small little things that are growing to them?
That's why I feel like the human race is kind of selfish when it comes to that kind of stuff.
No, it's not selfish. It's ignorance in my book. I think ignorance describes it better because it's the idea that only you're right. Or arrogance. I'll call it arrogance.
Another form of selfishness and ego boosting that we think we're so great that there's nothing like us. When there
Exactly.
100% is other intelligent beings that probably have their own languages or forms of communication. We can't say languages because we don't. How do you know we aren't the only things that talk? Like, what's the
Yeah.
obsession with?
Sam, I need one more piece of obsidian.
No, you don't, Gavin. I gave you like 11.
You gave me 11, there takes exactly 12.
Screw off.
I just raised 125 attempts.
Something like. Something could easily be out there. Easily, and they just don't know about us. We don't know about them. Like, our Earth's radio waves, I guess, only reach out to a certain point, and after that, there's no way of anybody else knowing that anything exists on this planet. There's, like, and it's almost impossible to get out that far until better technology gets created. The only way that people would be able to go out there, there'd have to be generations of families that would have to be born out in space, and that would literally be impossible because there's specific training that you'd have to even be able to survive out there, and there's no way of just making new people like off the rip, just right there, and teaching them and having a sustainable food source. That's why they're trying to learn how to, what is it called, eat. It's something, it's it's what SpaceX is trying to do. They're going to Mars, right? And then they're trying to create an ecosystem on Mars, and by doing that you need to have the same stuff that we have here. Like, they want to put oxygen and carbon into the atmosphere to
Well,
make
they
it
need to build an atmosphere. They're building an atmosphere.
yeah, they're trying to build a atmosphere out in Mars just like how Earth is. They aren't trying to yet. They're just trying to get to Mars first, and then they're gonna bring equipment there when it's successful. And then that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna try and build what's the word?
Ecosystem.
No, not
Atmosphere.
atmosphere. Because that's the only way that it could be successful. Because you can't just go out. You can't just go out there with oxygen mask on. That's no way of surviving, and they'd have to put up some form of system that would make it easily breathable where you could just live out there. And that could be an option that might be having to be used sometime close in the future when Earth becomes too populated and food sources start running out and
Yes.
things start getting limited.
What is... I know we are 14 and 15-year-old kids just sitting in our rooms or basements talking about this, but this discussion needs to be held with our generation all over the country and world. We have to start realizing this is the world that we're
This is the future. It's we can't just, cause from where most full-grown adults like our parents, when they grew up, it wasn't there weren't 8 billion people in the world. Like, 8 billion
Yeah.
people is a lot of people, and
There's about 6
and it's still growing. There's probably about, I think in the early 2000s it was like high 6 billions. So when they were born, it was like in the 5 billion, low 6 billion range, and it all started from the Industrial Revolution when they started pumping out factories with
It's honestly
production.
It's honestly more of when my dad and your dad were alive, Sam.
Yeah, when they were born.
Compared to when Gavin's parents were alive.
Yeah.
Our parents are basically part of that boomer. I know that sounds like
But
a joke.
that's what it's called though. That's what it's called.
It's like the boomer stage, which is just like the baby boomer stage. It's nothing hysterical, but I believe that they kind of screwed us. They put us in a hole, and not intentionally. They weren't like fuck our kids. No, they didn't do it intentionally, but with all the pollution they put out. But this is
Without realizing what's happening.
This is our world that we live in now, and we can either completely destroy it, or we can change it and create a better life for us and our children in the future.
That's why the big leaders need to listen to people like Greta Thunberg or whatever her name was.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't particularly like her, but I see what you're saying.
Like her ideas of how we need to save the planet. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. And not to change the subject.
No, I'm dead.
I think this would be a good time to go into global warming.
Yeah.
And
how's that?
Gavin, I want to hear your thoughts on this because this is we have some knowledge about this from school, but I want to hear about like what
an uneducated person stuff. You're educated. You've obviously had a discussion about this, but this is what we're doing this year in Earth Science. So we're learning about this right now. But I
just want to hear what it's like raw in your mind, like what it.
Because I'm sure our parents didn't get the same information right now, and there's definitely been things that have changed since then.
Yeah. Gavin.
Huh?
Did you not hear anything we just
No,
said?
I heard.
Are you just thinking?
Yeah, I was just thinking, it's not if, or maybe it's when. It's when it's gonna happen.
When what happens?
We're not, like what you guys were talking about, like about the whole, like, overpopulation and when food runs out.
The estimated peak is around 10 billion, I guess. If production stays how it is, like the estimated time like when everything could go bad is when 10 billion people get on Earth, I guess. Which is a lot of people, and there's not a lot of...
I'm not saying... The idea of Africa is very poorly portrayed. Africa is one of the most beautiful places on the world. The problem is, its governments are so corrupt. I mean, look how much water us American citizens waste every day. We take... Well, not wasting, but we don't think about it. We take a shower, then we use the toilet, we get a bunch of drinks of water, don't worry about it at all. We wash our hands, we fill our swimming pools, we spray. It could go on forever, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, one of the worst...
These kids are going to watering holes at 6 and 7 years old being 30 pounds. When they're pretty much 4 foot tall, which is extremely, like, skinny, to get water for their family. It's extremely sad, and I think...
And that's in specific parts, that's not all over. There's a lot of great, huge cities in Africa. There's a lot of beautiful cities in Africa that are very modern. It's just hard to, because there's things like... I'm sure not a lot of people don't know about this because it's something they basically hide from us in school. Have you heard about the Belgian Congo?
No,
basically,
I've heard of the word. I know absolutely nothing about
basically, it was slavery 40 years ago in Africa. It was basically it ended in like the 80s, in like the highest, like in 78 or something like that. That's when it ended. And basically it was Europe invading the Belgian Congo, or the Congo is the very middle of Africa, and it's a huge hunk of Africa, and it's just a giant country. It's all like the jungle part of Africa. And basically, European explorers went there and just exploited everything. And they're very evil people that were a part of it. And an example of how bad they were, if people wouldn't listen to them, like the African citizens, they chop their hands off. They wouldn't even kill them. They just chop their hands off and make them live a horrible life.
That's terrible. It's absolutely.
There's no reason for something like that. If it's like it was going on in the 40s and 50s this bad.
And look at I didn't know about it. And that's part of the ignorance that comes along with our human race. We do not know this stuff.
Yeah, that's a problem, that knowledge like that isn't spread, but we're learning about something like...
We are worrying about Democratic versus Republican. I know.
And we need to learn our own history, too. We need to learn about our past. That's the only way you could improve on the future.
One thing I do not like is the ideology, not to change the subject, but the ideology of political parties. I think how someone's like, I'm a Republican, but I can't vote for that person because I'm a Democrat. That is absolutely terrible. You should be voting for the best candidate.
There's no reason of thinking like that.
Right now, I identify as Republican, so do my parents, all my family, and I am conservative to a point. But that doesn't mean if there's a better Democratic candidate, I am most 100% going to vote for that better 100% for that better candidate. Just because I'm Republican and conservative does not mean I'm going to defend Donald Trump and what he's doing right now. I can see
which a lot of people are doing just based on not wanting to be wrong. Purely based on... Damn, there's a gas right there.
Where are you in another?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Gavin. What I kind of want to hear is, what are your thoughts on global warming? That's kind of what I was asking.
Yeah, this is what... Going back to that.
Like, almost do a brain spill of everything you know about it. And
What do you...
we're
Yeah.
not gonna, we're not going to, laugh at you. I'm
If you don't know a lot. Just... What do you know about it just based off raw knowledge that they've taught you? Which is probably...
So what do you think causes it?
Yeah, what are the causes of global warming?
It's caused by the way humans... I don't know, it's something about... I remember we were learning about, the burning of fossil fuels, or, something to that.
Yeah, you're right. So basically...
It's a part of it. No, let Gavin... Hold on, let Gavin fully say it.
Alright. I don't really know anything else.
So basically, the global warming is the increase of the average global temperature. It's pretty self-explanatory, but why we should be scared about it is that desert, that Hollywood, where it's 95 degrees all year round, in 10 years it could be 105 degrees.
I don't know where the Nether Fortress is, and I'm scared there's not one.
I think that's a good place to end it. Hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. Please like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. It would really mean a lot.
Give us
an honest review. Give us an honest review in the comments so I could see what to change.
And topics for next video.
Yes, good idea.
Topics of interest. What you would like to see us talk about. And comment who's your favorite. I'm Sam.
I'm Nick.
I'm Mr. 220, or call me Gavin.
And that was the first podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed.